Test 1, 2. Make sure you have the correct coordinates on Zoom and note the password.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hold on, I don't hear you.
There we go.
Chuck.
Hey.
I got you now, I think. You there?
There you go. Yep.
How about I'm trying to get a hold of Greg, though he may not be there.
Maybe caught out in the rain.
Yeah. A lot of people are.
Boy, that was coming down. Did it hit you hard as well as hit here?
Shit. I haven't had a chance to look.
Yeah, it did over here, in the East End.
Yeah, and I was off of Zorn, and I'm going to try one more time. That was craziness. That I haven't seen it come down that hard in a long time.
Oh, really?
All right. Yeah, I mean, it was coming down in cats and dogs. Cats and dogs. All right. Got a lot of stuff. Let me put that here. All right. Well, we're going to start without Greg. All right.
Hey, you've reached Greg Sokoler with the Sokoler team.
You know, it's funny. You could remind him 10 different ways, and he just doesn't get there. Okay.
At the tone, please record your message.
Right.
When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
In the middle of the kids, I mentioned I wasn't going to be on today. Okay, so he's not on today. Okay. All right, boys and girls. Let's get going. A lot of good news, crazy news. We've got lots of questions. The questions worry me because some of them are, these people are in bad shape. So timer. Okay, that's our timer. Okay, and then airplane mode. Yeah, I was really late getting on. As I'm getting ready to get on, I get a call from some guy, Rashid, who wanted information. I said, I got to have somebody call you. And, you don't want to push him off the phone fast, but I had to push it out. Okay. Okay, let's get ready. Oh, that doesn't do it good. Okay, you ready, guys? We all ready? Okie dokie. 1, 2, 3, 4. News Radio 840 WHAS. Good Sunday morning. Bob Sokoler and the Louisville Real Estate Show. This is our day after Derby real estate show for everybody who hopefully you had a winner. Not so sure about our team here. Joining us from their homes or offices, depending upon where they are this early on a Sunday. We've got Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices at 499-6360. Good to see you, Chuck.
Good morning.
Good morning. Also, Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Services. They come in like a team and do a great job. Brad, give me that 800. You have a new number.
You do. It is 844-411-TEAM.
844-411-TEAM. You'd think I'd have that down already, but I guess
that's okay.
Yeah.
Just remember 411 for information, Bob.
411-TEAM. Yeah, that makes sense. 800-411-TEAM. And you can reach me, Bob Sokoler, anytime on my cell phone, 376-5483. Son Greg has the morning off. he may have been at the track a little too late last night. Some interesting and good news for those of you who followed this past Wednesday. The Federal Reserve said it would keep benchmark interest rates near zero. So for those of us in the industry, now that's not the interest rate that you pay when you refinance or finance a home, but it does have some correlation. Federal funds rate, which banks charge one another for short-term borrowing, is not the rate we pay as consumers, but the Fed's historically low borrowing rates has made it easier to borrow money, which also makes less desirable to hoard cash, and that helps anybody who's looking to buy a new home, refinance a mortgage, or pay down debt. Those are some things you could keep on track as we move forward. Also, something else that I thought is of interest for everybody. You know, you've heard the word Zestimates, Chuck and Brad?
Yes.
Yeah. So Zillow has that. I think they became pretty famous with these estimates over the past years. Well, now there are reports around the country, including here in Louisville, that those estimates can't keep up with the rising prices of homes.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So it's never bad to say rates or prices of homes are rising that quickly, but the truth is they're not only off typically 10,000 sometimes Zillow from the Zestimate. Now they're off like $100,000 to $200,000. Wow. So I'll give you an example. In Sacramento and in some other areas, Zillow estimates can be high and low. In Big Sky, Montana, real estate agent Michael Pitcairn said Zestimates are more than 10% lower than the MLS home value data in his brokerage is using, and that in some cases they're off as much as 21% or up to 35%. So what you need, I guess what it comes down to when it comes down to it is just simply bring in a realtor. I'd love to help you. Any realtor will help you come up with an actual estimate of what your home is really worth, which is flying off the market right now. We can't begin to tell you if we list it, we market it properly, it's priced correctly, it will fly off the market. So as we say, continue to help with the momentum. Just call and get the house on the market if that's what you're thinking you want to do. There's a question, of course, is will the housing market maintain its momentum? And last week, existing home sales from the National Association of Realtors shows that sales dropped 3.7% compared to the month before. It's the second consecutive month that sales have slumped. Why, you might be wondering? Well, there aren't enough homes to buy. Currently, 410,000 fewer single-family homes available for sale nationwide than it was this time last year. Lawrence Young, who is the chief economist at NAR, explains in a report that the sales for March and April would have been measurably higher had there been more inventory. The days of market are swift, multiple offers are prevalent, and buyer confidence is rising. Okay, so that gets us through the news. By the way, Brad, do you have a pool at your house?
No, I don't. No, part of an HOA. So we've got a community pool here.
Got it. And Chuck, pool at your condo association?
Blairwood.
Blair. Okay, that's what you're
Yeah,
using.
we're
Blairwood?
associated with Blairwood.
So just so you know, a new report out, homes with pools have become a target of buyers ever since the pandemic began. In fact, we used to say only 10% of buyers were looking for a home with a pool. Now, it seemed like if you have a pool, buyers will beat a path to your front door to get that to that house, because I guess they want to be home, relaxing, not have to worry about, especially even though pandemic is heading towards an end, at least we hope, they still want to get to a pool and relax in their backyard. All right, so we're doing these COVID shows. I've told you this before, folks. Because of that, normally we take your phone calls, but we're dealing with Zoom, and so we're asking you to email your questions into our team. You can send an email to me, radio question in the subject line, bob@wesaw.louisville.com, and we will air them on the air. I'll get to that in a second. One of the cool things about having a radio show is I can help our team members, we have 10 plus agents, help their clients, as well as hopefully help you as sellers answer questions. One of my great agents, Kim Spratt, is looking for a home, by the way, in the Glen Eagle subdivision for a buyer. If you have a home there in Glen Eagle, under 500,000, first floor, primary bedroom, we used to call them master bedrooms, now they're primary bedrooms, and first floor laundry, a finished or partially finished basement, again in Glen Eagles, we have a buyer for your home. Call me at 376-5483. All right. To the emails that we've got, let's start with Chuck. Natalie, touring a home. Chuck, this is a tough one. Headed to the basement, I guess, with her agent. And as she was going down the steps, leaned against the banister, it broke. She fell and hurt herself.
Ouch.
Apparently sprained her ankle. I don't know if any of the broken bones. But can she go and file a claim against the seller? I know you're not that type of an attorney, but what would you suggest?
Yeah, I don't do personal injury. I know that when somebody comes into your house to look for it, you've allowed them in. If you reasonably believe they're going to be going downstairs and you know that there's an issue with something, or should have known there was an issue with something, you probably have a duty to let them know. I know a couple of really good personal injury attorneys that would be able to, talk about that more in depth. So if you just want to ever give me a call, I can pass her on to those guys.
Yeah, and we'll give out Chuck's phone number, by the way, in just a little bit here, Natalie. But certainly, I'm sorry that happens. Typically as agents, if we're showing a house or when I go to list a house and I walk around, I'm looking for any potential hazards. And Brad, one of the things out front, just in terms of a sidewalk, if a step is raised or concrete's raised, it's a trip hazard. It's going to be brought up in an inspection anyway. And so I try to point that out to try to take care of that before the home goes on the market. But it's unfortunate. I think agents should be looking out for their clients as much as possible. Not saying that this agent didn't. It's just that poor Natalie now ends up with a sprained ankle. All right, let's move on to one of the questions for you. Sadie says that they're thinking of selling their house. Her husband smokes nonstop, and they interviewed an agent, I guess more than an agent, one or two agents, and says the smoking is a problem and will kill a chance of a quick sale. And I completely concur. Even if the buyer is a smoker, if they smell the smoke, it sometimes raises a red flag. Are there any things, Brad, that Sadie can do to get rid of a smoke smell, something that really works?
Yeah, so the things that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to get rid of all of the soft surfaces. So if there's carpet in there, upholstered furniture, drapes, all of those hang on to smells. You can kind of clean them, but I have not seen it be very effective. Hard surfaces really just have to be cleaned. With nicotine, it is a little bit of a challenge to clean it off. I mean, sometimes it has to actually be sealed with a sealer like Kills and then painted over. Ductwork typically has to be cleaned. The HVAC ductwork is going to be probably, from one end to the other will be coated with the smoke, the nicotine, the other byproducts, the odors, and really it is really hard to get it out of a house. It can be done, but it's going to take some effort and probably a few dollars to get it all cleaned up. We had a house in our neighborhood that was the same way. If you looked at MLS, the note said, heavy smoke, and it took 2 years for that house to actually get sold. It's a tough thing.
I've told clients who are smokers, I said, listen, every time you light up in the house, just take a $20 bill and tear it up, because it's ultimately you're dropping your value. What I would suggest to anybody who's thinking of selling their house who smokes or has a smoker in the family is to make sure you go outside, back deck, front deck, make sure, porch, whatever. Don't leave any signs of cigarettes around. I would also not suggest to smoke in the garage,
Right,
because it retains that smell. And I wish there was something that we had. If anybody knows of some surefire way to eliminate, other than what Brad's just alluded to here with paint, carpet, drapes, Another thing is to clean the air ducts, right, that go through
Right.
the
Ductwork.
house.
Mhm.
But that's a shot in the dark, and I would tell you to do that prior to putting the home on the market. Wouldn't you agree? Because once you put it
Yes.
on the market, someone walks through, they're going to think it's close to impossible. So you need to try to get rid of. And just I don't. And Chuck, I don't know if you are aware of this. Get closer to your microphone there because you're a little
Okay.
far away. Um, is will the smell of smoke dissipate over years, or will it always maintain that smell? I don't know enough about that. No idea. Okay. I just, yeah, I just,
I've
And,
I've
yeah,
well, and different people have different sensitivities to it as well.
yeah, yeah.
So
All right. But I just thought it was give it a shot. We're going to do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue. We've got a bunch of calls. Well, in this case, emails with regards to questions. Also, 82,338 reasons to buy a home today. I'll tell you what that means. We are on our show till the top of the hour. With us, Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service, 844-411-TEAM.
yes, sir.
And then Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices, 499-6360. And you can reach me, Bob Sokoler, 376-5483. We are back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS. Sorry about that. I want to bring, you were sounding hollow there, Chuck, so I'll cut that out in post.
Sorry.
But yeah, but we'll get that just so. Here we go. News Radio 840 WHAS. Bob Sokoler, the Louisville Real Estate Show. Thank you much, Barbara Corcoran, my mentor friend, and she's one of the stars of Shark Tank and does a great job. And we appreciate her helping us and talking about us. With us here until the top of the hour on the Louisville Real Estate Show, Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices. And Chuck is fond of saying, and I will tell you the truth, he is right on target. If he doesn't do it, he knows someone who does. Just does a great job
That
of
would
closing.
be correct.
You better believe it. Crosby Law Offices, you can pick the attorney you want to close your loan, and Chuck's great, good guy, has a great team that's behind him, gets the job done. You can reach Chuck at 499-6360. If you're looking for an inspector, I will tell you, you could not find a better one than Brad Lawler and his Home Team Inspection Service. They're ranked number one among Home Team Inspection Services 6+ years in a row now throughout the United States.
That's right.
And they come in as a team. They hire veterans. You can reach Brad and his team at 844-411-TEAM. And again, you can reach me, Bob Sokoler, constantly looking for homes to list. We really do need some more homes because we keep selling them. And we've got buyer agents to help you go out and find a home immediately or the home of your dreams. You can reach me anytime, 376-5483. So we were talking about the reasons to buy a home. There's 82,000 plus reasons for them. And it's really the financial benefits of buying a home as compared to renting one are always up for debate. You say, they don't have to invest money, but you're ending up paying someone else's mortgage. The one element that is often ignored is the ability to build wealth as a homeowner. Most experts are calling for home prices to continue to appreciate over the next several years. In fact, I just saw a study that shows that, yes, indeed, the next 2 years expect home prices to continue escalating at an enormous rate. The most recent home price expectation survey, which is a survey of over 100 economists, real estate experts, and investment and marketing strategists, expect home appreciation to increase in this year 6%, next year 4.5%, in 2023 4%, 2024 3.6%, and 2025 3.5%. That equates for an average home $82,000 plus in appreciation in just a couple of years. So if you're thinking maybe it's time to buy, you're probably right. So note, that's a reason to go out there and buy a home. All right, back to some of our emails. Nick writes in, they're buying a home and they're selling a home, and they were supposed to close on the new home last week, Chuck. This is happening quite a bit. But the buyer of their home, of Nick's home, is now waiting for his bank to approve the loan and move forward. And apparently, this is the second time, a second delay that the buyer has caused, or the buyer's bank has caused. Is there anything they can do legally? Nick is asking.
No, not really. All the court orders in the world aren't going to make a bank approve or disapprove a loan. It's just a matter of hurry up and wait, I guess, is what we'd have to do. We're running into that a lot, where lenders they're either getting overworked, or there's some glitch at the end with an underwriting condition that somebody just added in, and things are getting bumped on a fairly regular basis. There's one mortgage company here in town that, one or two bumps, it's considered normal.
Yeah.
It's not optimal, obviously. It causes trouble for everybody. And with houses the way they are now, with the limit, you've got 3 and 4 of them stacked up to close right after each other. So it's not just oh, hey, my bank is kind of slow, so no worries, because it does affect everybody else. But I don't think I've seen a whole lot where one bank fails to do the loan. It's just inconveniencing rather than killing a deal.
I would tell you that movers are used to this because they hear all the time,
Yeah.
oh, we got a delay. Yeah. But I would also point out, Chuck, and you may or may not have heard of this. So there's one that I'm aware of where the seller just said, "Oh, I'm not going to sell because we've had so many delays." He's now being sued.
Yeah.
He backed
See,
out.
you can't do that. You've got a contract. The contract has dates and times, and if you just get fed up before the contract's over and walk, and even a reasonable period after that, you're opening yourself up to some stuff. My advice is always just kind of, okay, let's just play it by ear, keep calm. It'll work out. They always do. It's just a question of when.
I've always found that when I hear of news that I'm not happy with, at first I'm saying, no way I'm going to even deal with that, right? But after a couple of hours of getting used to it, sometimes you just play it safe, and you take it in stride. Yeah, you're right.
I had a deal here recently where the lender was supposed to put some money in my bank, and it's a bank-to-bank transfer. It takes seconds. It's not like a wire, which can have a couple hours lag time, but it was the same bank to my account transfer, and the bank person just forgot.
Oh.
And seller's getting all angry and everything's like, just give me 10 minutes. I'm going to make a phone call, and everything worked out. It always does. It's just things don't get better if everybody gets angry until there's a real reason.
Good point. Patience is important.
Patience.
Brad.
Diplomacy.
Yes, indeed. This comes from Matt, and this is dealing with homes where the backyard slopes towards the house.
Oh.
Apparently, Matt and his wife love a house in the Highlands, but the backyard is sloping towards the house, and the home inspector that they had said it could cause problems. They want to know what can they do to move forward and buy the house, because homes are short in supply. This one fits all their check marks. It's just that the house, the backyard leans or comes to the house, coming a downward slope. Will it hurt the house? What would you suggest?
So, it'd be interesting to see that house, because you should be able to see whether or not that water is putting any pressure on the foundation already. But no, it's not a good idea to have the yard sloping towards the house. There's lots of houses in Louisville that are set up that way. Oftentimes they'll put in a retaining wall to help divert the water flow. You can do some regrading. The thing that probably best served is to talk to a foundation company just to see whether or not there's any pressure being put against the foundation wall. They'll be able to talk about mitigation of that water, whether it's putting in any sort of a French drain, waterproofing on the outside of the house, anything basically to keep the water from penetrating into the foundation. But usually, putting down, we've seen people just try to put down a little bit of, topsoil or mulch. That doesn't do it. You're really going to have be able to move a significant amount of water away from a house. Because you think about some of these heavy rainfalls that we have in springtime, you can have a lot of water pushing up a foundation very quickly, which can then, damage your foundation.
Yeah, which we had this past Wednesday. It came down in buckets.
Right.
So, one other question for everybody who's listening, whether it's a foundation problem or a roof problem, HVAC, there are some companies that appear to charge to come out and give you an estimate or look at the property, whatever it might be, and others don't charge. Would you say one that charges is better, or that the ones that don't charge is better, the way to go, because you're going to get the same information?
It's interesting you say that, because most of the contacts that I have in those businesses do not charge for estimates, but I know of one that does, and their company is very, very good. But what they do is they do charge a fee to come out, but they give you all the money back if you contract with them, and it's not a significant amount. I think it's like $79 for them to come out, but they do a very thorough job. But again, I know other companies that are also very, very good, also give a very thorough estimate, complete details, and charge nothing. So I think it's just really, I don't know that one's better than the other, but you definitely, I will say, you definitely want more than one opinion when you're talking about that kind of work.
Yeah, and that kind of money. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Chuck, we're going to get to another question in just a moment to you, but I got to tell you something. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call from a guy named Tony, and Tony starts asking me about investments. He wants me or one of my agents to help him invest in homes. And he said a couple of things, and I said, Tony, did you by chance just graduate from a real estate school that you heard about online? And he goes, yes, but as a matter of fact, yes. How did you know that? I said, because they're telling Tony to go in and make an offer at, so if a home is listed, I took notes because I just couldn't believe this. If the home is listed, his people tell him, and I have the name of the real estate school, but I think it's one of those you might see in an infomercial over the middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
So they said, if the home is listed at $100,000, go in and make an offer of $30,000 and keep doing it until you find someone who's going to take that offer. And I said, so Tony, just so you know, that's 10 years old information. In our current market, in this day and age, that's just not going to happen, just so you know. And so I've told him, call me back. Feel free to reach out to me anytime, but your premise is not working. Call the real estate school, ask them to call me, and I'll set them straight, because I'd love to talk to them. All right, moving on here. Chuck, Christina has got her house on the market for sale by owner. A buyer came to the front door and wants to buy it. You ready, Chuck?
Okay.
He wants to simply buy the house without using an attorney or real estate agent. Is that possible? Should Christina do it? What are your thoughts?
Pretty much anything is possible. Okay. But it's not a good idea. If a person wants to throw their money away like that, well, who am I to stop? If I stopped them in this case, they'll throw it away some other place. But it's kind of a silly idea.
Isn't it dangerous for him just without doing due diligence,
I get phone calls from people all the time. We do a lot of flipping. Folks come through here flipping properties, and some of them go to similar schools to the one your person went to, and they think because they can get online and they can look at the county clerk's records or PVA or something like that, that they know everything about this property. That it's like, guys, you don't understand. Running a title used to be, doing title examinations used to be the highest area of malpractice in the law, because there's so many ways to screw it up. It has since, of course, been surpassed by personal injury attorneys who don't win $1 million for their clients. Then they automatically get sued. I think there's some irony in there. But in any event, if it was that easy, it wouldn't be a big deal. At least it's always look at the insurance agents. For instance, why do I not think the Bermuda Triangle is all that dangerous? Because Lloyd's of London doesn't charge more for ships that go through it. If ships were sinking all over the place, they would.
There you go.
So that's my thought.
I love it. Just a reminder, if you want to see what the people are saying about us, You can go to LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. That's LouisvilleSellersTalk.com, which is one of our YouTube channels. Or you can also read about what sellers are saying about us by going to LouisvilleZillow.com, LouisvilleZillow.com. All right, finally, Brad, Kristen has listened to our radio show. She's heard you talk about Federal Pacific panels. The house they're looking at potentially to buy appears to have one. I guess it does. And it says at least Federal Pacific on the cover. Do they need to ask for a replacement before they buy or during inspections?
They need to ask for an electrician to assess the condition of the panel. Chances are it's probably gotten to the end of its life because those panels are now, at least 40 years old. It's a good thing to have it replaced. The electricians are split on them. There's still tens of thousands of those panels in this market. Some electricians look at it and say, no problem at all. Everything looks great. It's tight. The home inspector, the electrician, will be able to see whether or not there's any overheating, anything that's scorched on it, which would give indication it does need to be replaced. But for a Federal Pacific panel right now, just go ahead, have the electrician just assess the whole situation. And Chuck, just for the same flipper that you were talking about, he's the guy that reused the panel cover that had the code sticker from 1991 on it when the work was last done, and try to pass it off as having permitted work done, which he forgot that, and he had modified the panel completely. So beautiful work that they do.
It's like you get these people and they mean well, they just don't understand. And
what do you, nothing you're going to do to change that.
Somebody
Chuck,
wants to tell me how to do real estate work after 27 years. Okay, I'll listen to you and I'll make the pleasant comment. Gee, I never thought about it that way.
Brad, just real quickly, did I hear that Federal Pacific is still being actively used in Canada? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah,
they
still sell them there. It's a little bit different now. They've been changed, but no, they're still,
If anybody has a question, if you go downstairs to your basement and you see, or wherever, you're a Federal Pacific panel, do a Google search for Federal Pacific and read about it, because it could be a safety problem.
Just look for the orange stickers on the ends of the circuit breakers. That's the easiest thing to see. If they all flip to the outside rather than to the inside, that's the FPE panel you're looking for.
Yeah. Okay. And just read up on that. Okay. We are out of time. My thanks, of course, to Chuck Crosby, the Crosby Law Offices. You can reach him. Does a great job. 499-6360. Also, Brad Lawler, owner of Home Team Inspection Service. They come in as a team. They do a great job. You can reach Brad at, give us the number again, Brad.
844-411-TEAM.
Got it. And you can reach me, Bob Sokoler, anytime, day or night, on my phone, 376-5483. We are out of time. Have a great day after Derby. Good luck with the people cleaning up over at Churchill Downs. We wish you all the best. See you next Sunday right here on News Radio 840 WHAS. Anybody got any winners?
I want to, no, I don't. I want to show you guys something. The Zestimate thing.
Yeah.
So this is the Zestimate that I just pulled up on my house. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I refinanced in November, and the Zestimate at that time was 308 to 317, I think.
Wow.
This has gone up $18,000, 5.5% in 30 days. And now the Zestimate on it is 329 to 367, where it used to be a real tight little band.
Yeah.
Now it's $40,000 difference. I mean, I guess that's what they're doing because they can't keep up with the pricing. They've just made much larger ranges. That's crazy. I hadn't even thought about that. And I looked it up and went, wow, that's a big change.
Isn't that amazing?
The refi in November. That's crazy.
And so many people rely on these estimates. We go out and they go, well, my Zestimate.
Oh, I know. People quote those like they're the gospel.
Yeah. So, I think that put Zillow on the map, quite frankly. That's what. Yeah.
I just am afraid to see what PVA is going to do.
Well, PVA shouldn't get any. I mean, you didn't use any of that money to pull a ticket on or a permit or anything, did you?
No.
Well, how would PVA know about it?
Well, no, I know, but how are they going to set the basis for the values of our homes now?
Oh, that I think that we're in for a big awakening.
That's, I
in the
mean,
next couple of years.
we're going to get crushed.
We should
You
talk
gotta-
about that
You
next
flip
week.
a coin is what they do.
Right. Flip
Yeah.
a coin,
Yeah.
throw a dart.
Yeah, basically.
See how big it's going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see problems ahead. Problems ahead, guys.
Ah, well. All right.
All
I
right.
gotta get.
See you next week.
See you
You
later.
bet. Thanks, guys. Take
See you
care.
guys.
All righty.